Ooh, that looks tasty.
Welcome folks, Day the Hungry Gamer is back with another mini review, and today we're going to talk about SpaceCorp Digital. And this is obviously the digital implementation of the several years old game SpaceCorp. First off, thank you to the developer for reaching out and then providing me with a copy of this app so I can check this out. And quickly, I'm going to give you a little bit of a breakdown of how the game plays, but mostly I'm going to focus this on the app itself. So what SpaceCorp is it represents kind of the technological advances that different corporations make in sending ships out into space to explore the kind of inner solar system, then the outer solar system, then the galaxy as a whole. And each one of those things is a different era of the game. In fact, you can play just a single era of the gameplay, just the Mariners era, which is the first era, or it's like Starfarers, and there's a third one. I forget what they're called, but each one is its own board. And if you had the physical game, you actually have 3 different boards that you play on. And as I said, you can play just 1, you can play 2, or you can string them all together to play 3. Now, the core of the game is very simply a card drafting and card playing system with a little bit of a tableau building. And what happens in each of the 3 eras is they play mostly the same. And you're going to be seeing up in the side up there some screen captures I did from the 3 different eras in the game. But what's going to happen is you have a series of cards in your hand, and you also have what's called your infrastructure, your infra. And you can put cards into your infra, which is going to give you permanent abilities. It might be a build ability, it might be a move, an explore, etc. Or you will just be playing cards out of your hand to do the basic actions of the game. Now, the basic actions of the game are move, which is going to send your ship from one planet to another, or one asteroid to another, whatever. There is build, which is once you've gotten to those asteroids and you've explored the asteroids or planets, then you're going to build something, and the different things you build will do, again, different things. And you might build a refinery so you can make some more money. You might build a spaceport so you can travel further. You might build a shield generator if you are in one of the future eras so you're protected from radiation, etc., etc., etc. But as I said, you're going to be playing these cards and building up action. So you might play several cards because you're going to chain together the move points that they're going to get you. Or you might play several cards to get more explore points because each different planet or galaxy or whatever that you explore has a different value that you're going to need to explore it. And then the same thing when it comes time to build, because as you explore, you're going to find something there. It might be metal, it might be water, it might be some kind of a rare element, it might be alien life in the 3rd era. And all of these things will affect what you're able to build. Now the point is to make the most money, because of course it is. The victory points are money, and you score in the trillions. I mean, 1 point is $1 trillion. And you're going to be making this money by accomplishing these contracts, these recipe fulfillments that are out there in each different era. And as these get fulfilled in each different era, that's going to progress you to the next era and, as I said, get you points. And there are a wide variety of what these might be. They might be the first to have 3 different bases in a single region. It might be the first one to have 2 progress cards, and I haven't talked about those yet, but that's something else that you're able to do in the 2nd and 3rd era, though you can actually get a little bit of a head start in the 1st era on it. But you're going to be using breakthroughs and genetics cards, and you're actually going to be changing humanity as you're going through. Breakthroughs might be some kind of technology, but the genetics will turn into these adaptations that you're going to get to where you're immune to radiation, where you can live in different places, where you are able to build faster, and all these different things. So you're getting permanent power-ups to go with your various actions. And as I said, as you go through, the galaxy gets bigger and bigger and bigger, which makes moving harder and harder. And so you're just fighting this constant battle of upgrading your infra so you have enough of a base to be able to move around, and playing the cards, because if you put in your infra, you're actually not getting those benefits. And there's a lot of things going on here, and this is not the best description, and that's okay, because let's talk about what do I like about this app. What I like about this app is the tutorial is great. It's fantastic. The tutorial of this app makes the game shockingly easy to jump in and play. And along with that, it has a very good AI, so you can play against 1, 2, or 3 other players as you go through, and it works really, really well. It has a wonderful save feature to where you can drop in and out whenever you want. You can start in any era whenever you want. It has the ability for you to get the expansion, the SpaceCorp Ventures, which adds some asymmetricness to the different players and things like that. All of that is great, which is good because the game is great. This is a game I'd never even heard of when Michael, the developer, reached out and asked me if I would cover it, and I went and I did a little research. I was like, it sounds kind of cool, but it sounds like a lot. But at the end of the day, it's not. What it is just this intensely satisfying balance of playing cards out of your hands or putting in the infrastructure, which is a wonderful back and forth that you're trying to figure out every single turn. Almost all of the cards have 2 different actions on there, so you're playing these cards out, and then now you're trying to figure out, well, what am I going to do with this? Especially because you don't get the cards back. You use them and you lose them. And so sometimes you're playing these cards out. Sometimes you're upgrading your infra. Sometimes, like, I'm going to get a bunch of cards from the market so I can do something big later on. It's fantastic. But what makes the game sing the most is the 3 different eras. You really do feel like you are getting better at technology the more and more you go through the eras. You are finding cool stuff. You're having genetic breakthroughs, and sometimes I find myself kind of just chasing through the deck trying to find those breakthrough cards, the genetics cards, because I want to upgrade myself and be able to do cool things. And you're getting bonuses for being the first one to get out past Pluto and all of this. It's awesome. It's an awesome game that I am dumbfounded that I've never even heard of before. In fact, it is so good. I reached out to GMT and said, look, I'm covering this app version. I really like it. I think this game is great. I would like to also cover it in the physical as well. That's how cool I think this game is. The game is wonderful. So wonderful, and the app stands up to it. The app is right there. I guess it's not an app, it's a Steam game, so I don't know what that counts as. But whatever. It stands up to it. It's smooth. You can see what is going on very easily. You can see what your opponents are doing, how they got there. The log is good, so you can find out what you missed. It is very good about teaching you the game, and also it's really good about making it clear what your options are. It'll have a pop-up on the screen if you have a card that you could play at the beginning of the turn. It'll pop it up and say, you want to do this? No? Okay. And it's reminding you about things, and it does it in a way that's not intrusive. So if it sounds like I'm glowing about this game, I am. It's just fantastic. It is one of the best implementations of a board game into an app I've ever played. It's smooth. My machine doesn't get real hot. Easy to save, jump in and out, plays quickly. I can speed it up. I have access to the expansion if I want to try that. I can just do anything I want. And it's easy and it's fast. So it is almost a perfect Steam implementation of a board game. So that said, what are my quibbles with the app and the game? I'm going to talk about both right now. So the only real one that I have that's not being potentially addressed, because I've chatted with the developer a little bit. Well, I guess there's 2 things. One, unless this game's a huge hit, it's not going to be one to where you can play with other people. Now, maybe that will come later on, but at the launch, it's just going to be so you can play by yourself. And it plays great, but it would be real cool if I could play with my brother in Colorado while I'm here in California. The other thing I'll say is, there's just 1 or 2 things that I have a challenge with getting the selection right. When I'm changing my ships and clicking on this one and that one, I often find that I am moving rather than changing my ship. And that's a very minor little quibble there, because that's it. That's it. That's the only complaint that I have. It's a great app. Now, with the game itself, this is something that I'm a little bit projecting as I'm imagining playing the actual game, which I will be playing the actual game. I'm very excited about it. But my only real quibbles with that are, 1, it's not exciting art, which, it's an older game, and that's just kind of the way it goes, so fine, that's minor. but there is kind of a lot of setup going on. Because if you're going to play the full game, you have to tear down the board, take everything off, get rid of the cards, get a new deck of cards, shuffle that deck of cards, bring those cards out, then you finish that one, you're going to clear it all away again, you're going to bring out another one. So there's a lot of setup that kind of happens over and over again in the game, and I'm going to imagine that that can make for a rather long play session. Well, I'm not going to say imagine, because I know that's one of the reasons why the developer wanted to make it, because he loves the game and he can't play it nearly as much as he would like. And then the only other thing that I will bring up about the game is the arc's always going to be the same. This is not one of those games that's about discovery. And I always hesitate to put this in as a quibble because I don't see that as a quibble. There's so many games that it's about playing the game any given time. So you're not going to discover a lot, you're just going to find new ways to do things. You're going to find what the other players are doing and try to react to that. And to me, that's where this game is fun. To me, it's about kind of finding a mastery within the system, but it's not about discovery. So if you're looking for discovery, something's going to be new every single time you play, this isn't going to be it. But there you have it, folks. That is SpaceCorp Digital, and also a bit about the actual game itself. I'm a huge fan. It just arrived today, my copy, and I really can't wait to break it open and try the official solo mode, because you play against because playing digital you actually have opponents, but I really want to try the solo mode, see what it's all about, dig more into the Ventures expansion, because I've only played with it a little bit, and all in all, if it sounds like I'm gushing about this digital implementation and the game, you're right, I am. I think it's fantastic, and I'm really excited to dig more into it. So, there you have it, folks. That is SpaceCorp Digital. As always, if you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, share, maybe become a channel member. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.